my hair is messy and the motivation is low because I just had a fever yesterday and I haven't fully recovered it, and my back hurts and my neck hurts, but I do want to come back to my normal schedule for a little bit. So today is a low energy video. I'm just gonna try some of the leftover makeup that I have bought but never tried it, and this pretty much is everything I have that is new at this point. And I don't want to talk too much, let's just get started. I wasn't even bothered to film an intro. Okay, for base, actually no foundation, no new foundation whatsoever, but we do have a concealer and some or a lot of under eye brighteners, because I eventually want to do a video talking about like new brighteners that I have tried. So I'm thinking maybe let's just use this foundation, not foundation, concealer. Oh, this is not even concealer. I was holding a powder for this whole time. A concealer palette from timage. I think I previously tried a little sample from them, but I just don't know where the sample went. It was like a legit, super nicely packaged sample, so in theory I could use that for a long time, but I don't know where that is. So let's just use this full-size palette. It's the Jade Creamy Concealer Palette from timage in the shade 01. And I didn't know my throat hurts by talking because I haven't been talking for the past 2 days. 3 shades. One is a darker shade, and I assume that would be my skin tone, and a brighter shade and like a salmon shade, which I guess for like brightening the darker area. For me, I have discoloration on this region, so maybe let's use the salmon color on that region. How is it covering? I can't see on camera, but in the mirror it's covering pretty nicely, and it's not too pinky or orange that you feel like you have to use foundation to cover it. It's just like a tad more peachy than your skin tone. It's not too off. Mixing this 2 shades to use around my nose. Because I'm so down for the past couple of days, I haven't been doing much of a skincare either, so my skin is a little rough today. Pretty nice. Use this part as foundation. Darker shade. Pretty much just my skin tone, like I said. A little heavy though, so probably normally you wouldn't use this as a foundation, but if you want to be, just make sure it's a lighter layer, so even though it's like a heavier formulation, it wouldn't look heavy on your skin. It's actually looking pretty nice once I thin it out. Okay, nice formulation. I hope their actual foundation has this level of quality, because their actual foundation never works for me. Never. I don't know why that is. Like, if you're gonna think if you have the ability to make a great concealer, you can definitely do that with your foundation. But the thing is, with their foundation, first of all, they never had a shade that's this close to my skin tone. Like, you are not even seeing it right now, but it's definitely being applied, because the shade match is actually very good. But their actual normal foundation, even the darkest shade, is so light for me. Like, it's not even funny. And the tone is also not correct for me. either, and they settled into my pores. But this concealer is doing none of that, and it's actually working very nicely. With this type of firm formulation, you need to have like a denser sponge to apply, which today the sponge is like a denser one. This is from Flower Nose actually. It's like a gift with purchase. Okay, for concealer, another concealer. This is from Judydoll. Never tried this one. It's a concealer in the shade 00. So I suppose normally this would be a brightener, right? So let's just try this one as a brightener. And at the same time, I have another one because like I said, I'm planning to do a brightener video, and this one's from Into You. This is their Petal Brightening Concealer in the shade 01, more pink, as you can see. And this one smells so familiar. Can't spot what it smells like, but it's not like offensive, it's just familiar for me. Spreads pretty nicely, right? Oh, I really like this Judydoll one. It's blending nicely, and I have to say I didn't apply much because I hate applying a numerous amount of product on my under eye. I think the brightening effect is there, like it's enough, and you know, it's not heavy. This Into You one, and I'm using the other side of the sponge. Actually, I think the finish is pretty close for these two. I did feel like the Judydoll one is slightly more creamy, but after blending it out, it looks about the same. It's just this one is slightly more brightening because it's like a cooler toned pinky color rather than this one. Actually, I like the Judydoll one slightly better because I'm like super olive. I think for today's lighting, you can see I'm pretty olive. Like if I show you more of my body, it's like pretty olive. You can check my arm, it's pretty much a warm olive, so I think like a more yellowy undertone can work better for me. But that is not to say this side is bad, it's just slightly more cooler tone, but it's not like over the top, like standing out too much, so I'm happy for that. For setting powders, we do have some option. Because I want to do a C-Beauty setting powder video, so today I'm just gonna film some footage for that while I'm doing this low energy try on video. So the one I'm comparing to each other is the timage porcelain yarn glow pressed powder in the shade 02 and the florasis gorgeous peach blossom powder in the shade 05. Why I want to compare them together is because they are both lavender powders. So let's go. This one, it's a little bit easy to get like a hard pan. I think you can already tell, right? There's hard pan there. So I feel like this one is probably more for like people have dry skin. I understand if you say, oh, like what does it have anything to do with dry skin, but typically this type of powder is very densely pressed, so you would naturally pick up less product, which, you know, for dry skin, don't pick too much product up is a better thing in my opinion. And now let's change to a huge brush. Like I'm doing this and still this is only the amount that I'm getting because how densely packed it is. I think the color is pretty nice actually. It's brightening up my complexion without making it like neonly purple, because some powder does that. And it's pretty finely milled. We are just gonna see how this lasts through the hot weather. Today I'm not going outside, but I think we can still have a good test because it's like humid and hot inside as well. So this powder is so fancy, like even the puff is so beautiful, right? I love this puff. I hope they can let you buy this puff individually because this is beyond beautiful. Like I had never seen a puff that's this color. Oh, and the powder is like super lightweight. Let's see. Actually, these two are pretty similar. I think this is like so finely milled and it's mattifying pretty nicely. And I didn't need to apply like a lot to set my whole face. I hope this is gonna last because by now it's working flawlessly and I love the puff. How much is in here? 8.5, so not that much powder. And I hope you get to buy like a refill or something because this packaging is too beautiful to throw away. Eyeshadow probably. I bought this for like a long time. This is the canmake Silky Souffle Eyes in the shade 10. It's like a rosy tone. I was thinking maybe this can be like a dupe for this shade from SUQQU. Should we do like side by side? But I think it still is different, but because in the SUQQU palette you have like a satin shade, but this is all shimmer. This row is canmake and this row is SUQQU. I think you can see the pigmentation and the finish is all different. But let's see how it performs on the eyes. This shade all over my eyes, blending pretty nicely as well with a bit of this darkest shade. Okay, also pretty nice. This shade, this is supposed to be the satin shade in the SUQQU palette. Last, this shade, which feels more like a cream than a powder. Okay, that's it. Because I want to check how similar it is, I would not touch this shade. I will just use mainly these three. And this shade all over. Applies more like a cream without feeling like a cream, if that makes sense. It's like super nice and even. Once you apply it side by side, the feel of it is actually very different. If I just use the canmake one and I use this one not side by side, I would probably say it's pretty close, the formulation. But right now I do think the SUQQU one, it has like a special quality, darker shade. The canmake one just overall has like more fallout and the shimmer is more chunkier, which not like necessarily bad, right? Like a shimmer is a shimmer. If it's chunky, it's just another look. But I just feel like the SUQQU one, it's just so fine and so elegant. It's like completely a different finish, even though they both are shimmer. And the lightest shade, I prefer the SUQQU one a lot more. But that is not to say the canmake one is not good. I guess it's first of all a personal preference, and second of all, like it's not fair to compare such a affordable palette to such a high-end palette. I think the gap is probably like 10 times of the price. This is probably like 700 something yen if I'm not remembering this wrong, and the SUQQU one is like in the 7,000, so like 10 times of the price. it makes sense the SUQQU one is gonna perform better, and I'm gonna be pissed if it doesn't perform better, you know. I feel like the color is actually similar enough. If I don't tell you this is two palette, wouldn't you just feel like I'm just wearing one palette on both eyes? Right? It's just the shimmer finish is a tiny little bit different because the SUQQU side is like a topper-ish glitter. Blush. I'm taking another little footage for another video, which is the video I'm trying this brand Rom&nd. I'm gonna try on this side. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna use a setting spray to hydrate this side and apply. From the swatch, it's pretty creamy. With the sponge, it's like flawless. Nice, nice, and I like the color as well. It pairs well with this look. Nude blush, but it's not like yellow as how it looks in the pan. Let's layer another layer. Blend it out. It low-key has a little bit like pinkish tone to it. Can you tell? Very nice. Very, very nice. I'm glad that I bought this one. G07. This is basically just a clear highlighting balm. Are you even be able to see this? Let's see how this look. Okay, pretty dewy, I guess. Pretty sticky. Like, it's very, very sticky. For the other side, I do have another one that I bought but never tried. This is the liquid highlighter in the shade 01 from the Korean brand Glint. Like a little bit of shimmer in it. And this is the packaging. It smells fruity. It's a little bit sticky. Less dewy than this side, even though it has some shimmer, but you barely can tell the shimmer. It's pretty natural and not as dewy as this side. Let's see how sticky it is. Yeah, pretty much sticky. We actually have a lot for lips. 5. Let's try with this one first. It's the lip pencil from the brand CLIO. It's the velvet lip pencil in the shade 03 Coffee Brown. It's a pinky nude. What's new, right? A nice nudie shade that is pretty close for my skin. Let me blend this a little bit. I think this is pretty nice. Rom&nd is Glass-Tint Water Gloss in the shade 00. Oh, you can totally see the sparkle if you get up close. Minty. It's not like plumping or anything. It's just minty. And it tastes minty as well. The next one. This one is from C Beauty. Nail in English. A pinky nude. Very, very nice. I think it's pretty nice. It's worth the hype and it's pretty affordable on Taobao. And this one is from Uemura. RV Lip Serum in the shade Rosy. I think RV is their line for retinol and vitamin combined. I really like their serum. But my problem or my question for this, aren't you not supposed to wear retinol outside without sun protection? And this one doesn't really have sun protection, so doesn't that just mean I'm wearing retinol outside under the sun when I wear this and I go outside? You know, in theory it's great, vitamin C and retinol for your lips. The applicator is like a silicone-ish thing, which I guess good hygiene, I guess, but it just doesn't get enough product on it. If you're gonna make it silicone, at least make the product hold onto the applicator. Already, I don't really have big lips, but I think I need at least 2 dips for like a full application. The color is very nice though, and the formulation is nice as well. It has their like scent for their serum. If you have used their serum, it's the same scent, and they feel very cushiony, and it kind of thick. It kind of feels like a lip mask-ish. It's not sticky, but thick like a lip mask. It's pretty comfortable, but it just, like I said, I'm not sure, am I supposed to wear this under the sun because there's retinol in this. But the color is very nice. Lip tint from, I think this is from SUQQU. Joocyee Pen Water Tint in the shade CR02. I wanted to try this as the last one because it's a tint. And it's so orange. I mean, I picked the shade, so my own fault, but well, I guess the shade isn't bad. It's just not pairing well with this eye look because it's very pink and this is very orange. Nice shade, just more orange than I would normally go, and I feel like probably 3 years before, 3 or 4 years prior to this, I would absolutely love this shade. It's just now I've grown out of it, and it's leaving some tint. Yeah, the tint is pretty nice. This Nail one. Pretty nice. Let's wear this makeup for like at least a couple hours and see how this base hold up. I think it's been 7-8 hours and I do look rough. Let's see the update. Actually, despite it looking so oily on the camera, in real life it's not too bad. It's just this region, and I do think this side is slightly better than this side, and this side is the florasis one. But again, I think both of them are pretty nice, just with the florasis one a little bit better. And pretty much not, that much to say about other stuff. So let's just do a roundup. The concealer palette, it's actually wearing pretty well. Like, it's all intact on every place. I really liked this formulation. It's a win. I really like this. If this fits your skin color, I think it's a good one. And these 2 brighteners, I think, even though this one is a concealer, but it's also a brightener because of the shade. Both of them held pretty nicely. It's not heavy. I love both of the formulation. It's more like medium plus coverage and creamy formulation. And they are kind of matte. Both of them are not like a glowy formulation at all. And the powder, like I said, both are great powder. Today is pretty hot and humid as always. It's pretty normal for Japan to have this weather, and it's looking pretty nice. With the timage one, just a tad less oily, but again, overall it's already pretty impressive. And for the eyeshadow, this side is the canmake one. I do feel like it faded way more than the SUQQU side. What do you think? I think I applied them at the same intensity, but now the SUQQU one is still pretty much all there, with the canmake one faded a lot. That's what I hear people say about canmake eyeshadows as well. Like, people say it fades pretty quickly. It's not like, you know, it's nothing there. It's just fade maybe like 40% or a half of it, which I mean it's not bad considering the price, right? I just still like the SUQQU one better. And the blush is so nice. I love this blush. I have several these ones and only this color from this collection, and they're both from the brand Rom&nd. I love this formulation way better than the ones in this packaging, even though it's way cuter, you know, it's a little bare. But the blush, other colors I tried from this collection all really don't have much of a color. They are all in the end a bomb highlight for me with like a tiny hint of a color. So I really just feel like it's not necessary unless you want another bomb clear highlight, and specifically from this brand, which I don't know why you would, right? And this is relatively on the stickier side, even within this type of product, you know, the sticky highlight type of product. So not my favorite. My favorite would be this one. And for the lip piece, I have nothing to say about them. Oh, I forgot this one, the highlight. I don't know if it's still there though. I guess a little bit. Yeah, I guess it's still there for a little bit. It has some shimmer, but you cannot see it on the skin, and it's pretty subtle. I would say it's like a okay one. It doesn't disturb your makeup and everything, but it's not like anything about it stand out a lot that will remind me to use them again and again and again. You know, it's just okay. And for the lip piece, I really like the lip pencil. I ate a pretty big meal and I can see some of it still there, and I used this and then I wipe it away for a couple of times to try the other lip piece. So I do feel like this one is a great one. And for the other ones, I think I also had a clear one. Yeah, this one. They are all pretty nice. It's just this one a little bit too orange for me, but if I just blot it and layer other nudie shade on top, it's actually pretty nice. But as you can see, it all faded after like a big meal. And it's not even that messy of a meal. It's just some veggies, like raw veggies with a dip and fried chicken. That's it. Like there's no like noodles or like sticky mess and stuff like that. It's just a normal bigger meal without much of a messy food. But it's still pretty much faded. I like the finish of all three, which I feel like my like better of a favorite. It doesn't really make sense. Okay, this is a low energy video, so please forgive me. But this is lesser of a favorite because the applicator, like I just said, it doesn't give you enough product. It's a very limited amount. And I don't know if you should wear like a retinol outside under the sun without sun protection, even on your lips. I don't know if you should do that. And that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.